Princess Sarissa here. When we last left off, we had turned ourselves into frogs. Why? You can run, but you can't hide. Darn, I thought if we were frogs, you wouldn't be able to see us. No fooling this lady. You received my kiss of death. Uh-oh. That lady was really a monster. Come, I'll treat you right. Treat you to a slow death at the hands of the master of this castle. I, Halicarnassus. Oh. But anyway, here she is. As you see, the first thing she does is she turns you all into frogs. So if you enter the battle turned into a frog, then she'll just revert you back into your normal status. And you'll be easily able to just fight the battle as normal. Otherwise, you'll be spending your first few turns returning yourself back into your normal human form. You could, the thing is, it'll take like 4 turns, because you'd have to use your items, the Maiden's Kiss, because we all have the wall wings equipped, so we can't cast Toad on ourselves, otherwise it would just reflect off ourselves. So, the best thing to do is just come to this battle, turned into a Toad, and then, she will, untoad you. So, yep, and then we will just wail away on her with our normal weapons and our spells. So she's not too difficult. The main thing that she does is that status, and if you take too long, she'll and heal yourself up a status, she'll eventually keep on trying to restatus you. So as long as you kind of cheese her out by coming into this battle as toads, her main gimmick is basically dispelled, and you don't have to worry about it. So, yep. And then we just hammer away with Quicken Meteor and quick whatever good black magic spells you want to use. Feel free to use up all your MP in here, because there's one final boss monster beyond her. Even though, like she says, she's the master of this castle, there's one on the outside of the castle that we have yet to defeat, and he can kind of be trolly, so it's a good idea to, after you finish this boss battle, to head back to the save point and save the game up. And what I'm going to do is head down this way. This way you couldn't go into before because the door was locked. We can unlock the door from here, and since I have a little bit of MP left over and a little bit of hit points, I'm gonna farm. There's 2 more rare monsters that we can find in here, so I'm just gonna farm them before I save the game. As you can see, whenever you leave this area, unfortunately the door recloses, so you're gonna unfortunately have to make the long trek around to get back to the throne room, but that's okay. I'm gonna just wander around here, hopefully find the monsters. And here we have one of them, the Iron Giant. Not the movie, but this guy has he gives the most experience out of any monster in the game. So he's weak against water. He's also very weak to instant death. So if you have like the Odin summon, you can use Odin and he'll use the instant death summon and cut him in half. So it's a really good way to gain experience points for your characters. He's kind of like, I guess you could say, almost like a super boss, in a sense. He hits really hard, but other than that, nothing too particular. Sometimes he will use the hurricane spell to reduce a character down to single-digit hit points, but luckily he's kind of slow, so you should be able to heal up between them. Like many more monsters that are going to come up in the next area, including the one more boss monster we have to fight, a lot of these enemies in this area and him are weak to water. So if you have a blue mage with the Aqua Breath spell, yeah, it's a good spell to use against this guy and a lot of the upcoming monsters. So, let's finish him off. Like I said, he gives the most experience out of any regular monster in the game. So he's a potential thing to potentially level grind yourself with. Level grind your characters on with. If you want to level grind your characters, you have to finish doing it before you get into the next area, and I'll talk about that when we get to it. But once we get beyond this castle, there's still one more area to go in the Interdimensional Rift here. And but once we leave this castle, the enemies will no longer give experience. They'll give a whole bunch of ability points, so it's good to max your jobs like that. But you're not getting any experience to max your level, so I don't really like to fight those enemies. So we're gonna head here, and I'm going to save my game, and I'm gonna head out of the void, and I'm just gonna restock on items, sell some stuff, and prepare for the final push into the void. So I'll meet you back here at the save point after I do my shopping. So here I'm back at the save point. I just worked out, and we don't need those flame rings anymore, so I sold them, sold all that treasure that we got in the area, and I basically restocked on the mixable items, restocked on high potions and potions, and then whatever I had left over, I just bought a few elixirs. So now we're gonna go find that final boss in this castle area, and he is beyond the throne room. We saw that little door that we couldn't get to beyond the throne room there, that lady kept pushing us back. Well, now that she has been defeated, we can actually go beyond that door. So let's check out what's beyond there. Head in here. This room here has a high encounter rate of iron giants, so if you want to level, you can kind of run around here and fight those iron giants. But we want to head outside and fight twin titania. That's as far as you go. Beyond is where the power of the void is contained. I won't let you go. So this guy, he has two kind of forms. We read in that one book that when you charge Gigaflame, you become weak. This guy uses that Gigaflame, so that's why we come in here with all our characters equipped with wall rings. So in case he does cast the Gigaflare, it'll bounce off of us and hit him. I said he was kind of trolly. He's trolly because you could come equipped with this ring. One of the attacks he uses is the tidal wave. Like Leviathan does, and if he uses the tidal wave twice in a row, he'll basically like wipe out your party. So you might want to equip. You might think, oh, I'll equip core rings with that. But then if he equip the core rings, then you can't reflect back his magic spells like his Mind Blast or his Mega Flare there. One way you can kind of cheese him is by casting black magic on yourself. A lot of times he'll counter with that Mega Flare. So we'll hit him with some black magic, and he'll counter himself with Mega Flare. It'll bounce off us and do extra damage. Now, there's an audio cue that apparently he'll do. I've never heard it, but when he does this audio cue, that means that he's going to start charging that Giga Flare. And once he charges the Giga Flare, he becomes vulnerable to instant death. So at that point, you can hit him with an instant death spell. You can hit him with Odin. You can hit him with a death potion. But I can't really tell when that audio cue is. I'm not the best person with hearing. So yeah, we're just gonna stick to the normal way here of just cheesing him out by letting him reflect his own spells back at him, reflecting our spells back on him, and see sometimes even like cheese himself there. Like I said, he has a chance to potentially counter any magic spell that hits him. So sometimes he'll cast that Mind Blast. It'll bounce off of us and hit him, and then his AI will be like, wait, I just got hit by a spell. Better counter with Mega Flare. And then he'll counter with Mega Flare. It'll counter off our wall rings and just hit him again. So, like I said, he can be trolly. So, but when he isn't trolly, he's pretty easy. So there we go. And now we have one last enemy we want to fight here before we get into the void. We can find him up here on this little grassy area here. And here he is, the Yojimbo. He has a really good sword that you can steal if you're a thief. It's a better ninja sword than even the Masamune, the sealed weapon. But once again, we don't have thieves, so we're just gonna have to just take him out normally, and but otherwise, nothing too particular special about this guy. So But yep, he was the final monster that we can encounter outside here, outside the void. So the main area in the void, the crystal area. Final Fantasies tend to end a lot of their games with like crystal type looking areas. So this is the last enemy that can't be found in the crystal area. So we have a few more that we have to find in the crystal area, but we'll get them. Well, we'll see them when we get there. So now, like I was saying earlier, in this crystal area, none of the enemies will give any more experience. They'll just give a ton of ability points, but no experience. So if you want to max out your jobs, you can go in here and max out jobs quicker. But you're not gaining any experience while you're doing it, so it's easier just to stick out here and gain experience, build your levels while you're building your job levels. So yeah, not really, I don't really see a point in fighting these type enemies, really. So but here we are, we're in this like crystal area here, and it's the final, last area of the Interdimensional Rift. And hey, who's that down there in the lower corner? I don't know, but I know who this is. It's the King Behemoth. This guy, he's a pain in the dupa. Basically, what you want to do with him is, he has a very powerful counterattack. If you attack him with magic, he will attack you with strong magic attacks. So he's similar to Go-Go in that sense. If you hit him with physical attacks, he'll hit you back with physical attacks. So his counter is the main issue. But if you hit him with the Power Staff or a Berserk spell, what ends up happening is it rewrites his AI script. So now all he does is just straight attack. We don't have to worry about those counterattacks anymore, be they magic or physical. So that's why we wanted to keep that Power Rod. Like I said, it has no attack value, but whenever it hits something, it automatically gives it the Berserk status. So it's kind of a cheesy weapon. You'll never have it deal any damage, but it can be a very strong defensive tool because it rewrites nasty AI scripts that really hurt you. So, yep, that's the best way to take care of this guy. We just make him berserked, rewrite that AI script, and then he falls to our magic spells easier. If you have a blue mage and you berserk him, he, like I mentioned in the last a little bit ago, this guy is weak to the water. So many of the enemies in this area are weak to water. So sadly, our black mages do not get water. That's exclusive to the blue mage class. So, and I guess you could say the Beastmaster there if they capture an enemy that has a water release. So we're just going to use our happy little flare spells and take this guy out. So. And we don't have to worry too much about magic. We do have a save point later on here that we can use before we fight the last boss. So we can heal ourselves up there. And we have more than enough inventory things to heal ourselves up because we went out and restocked. We got a Fuma shuriken there, best throwing shuriken, but we don't have ninjas to throw. So, but we do have this guy up here waiting, and it looks like our old buddy Gilgamesh, is it? It is! Have at thee, vile beast! And remember, X-Death sent him to the Interdimensional Void and Interdimensional Rift when we fought him in X-Death's castle at the end of World 2. Well, here he is. This isn't really a particularly hard battle. He only has about 7,000 hit points. Take this, and he just basically attacks you. You just have to hit him for about 7,000 hit points, and then he will go into like a new script. And once he reaches that new script, you don't have to worry about doing anything again. So, you're basically just knocking sense into him, I guess you could say. Well, wait a minute, Whiskers? Yeah, zounds, 'tis no beast, just Whiskers. You should have said so from the start. Yeah, so now he'll just talk, and the battle's basically over. Monsters look around every corner, and I can't find the way out. Sniffle, I'm gonna break down. Annie, how'd you get here? Oh, just go that way then? I see. Let us egress post-haste. Say afterwards, what do you say we have a few spectacular adventures, just us 5? Oh, that whole saving the world thing. If you make it out safely, ha. No ifs about it. I'm certain we'll meet again. At that time, I hope you'll consider me, a friend? Oh, God, never mind, haha. Hasta la bye-bye! That would be interesting if they made a sequel, like, with Lenna, Whiskers, Krile, and Faris, and Gilgamesh! License to print money, Square! Well, now they're Square Enix, but... Alright, let's head deeper. Every time we step on one of those, like, little circle tile thingies there, that takes us to a new area here. So, new enemy, the Gorgamera. Once again, weak against water. You have Aqua Breath. You can use that on them. I'm just using the magic lamp there to get closer to the... the golem summon that we want to use, because we're going to want to use that golem summon for the final optional super boss. So these guys, nothing too particular about them. So we just want to hit them with our best magic spells, and nothing, like I said, nothing particular about them. No cheesy tricks you need to do against them like you had against the King Behemoth. So, but there will be some other monsters in here that we want to do some. We want to cheese them out. Yep. Getting all cheesy. Oh, finish these guys off and life will be good. One down, one to go. Multi-targeting frost spell, but as you saw, it didn't hurt us too bad. And you see, no experience, but a lot of ability points. 22, wow, that's a lot. Some more treasure over there. We're mainly gonna get a lot of Fuma shurikens in here, treasure-wise. So, like I said, it's a good thing we stocked up on our potions and stuff like that, because this is the final area. Yeah, we have another treasure chest down here. That doesn't contain a Fuma shuriken, but an elixir. They're always good to have. Step on this little circle again, and we're heading back into another area that's very close to the end, and you can tell we're getting very, very close to the end because you start seeing those little tree roots there. And remember what X-Death is. X-Death is a tree. So we're kind of seeing X-Death's influence here on the Void. And they have two new enemies here. The crystals are those little blue things in the front. They have only 3 hit points, but the problem is they absorb pretty much every single magic attack. So as you see there, I just cast poison. You might think, well, why'd you cast poison? You just healed them up. Well, they only have 3 hit points, so it doesn't matter that I healed them for 676, because it's just going to put them back to their 3 hit points that they have. However, the bio spell, what it does is it casts the sap status, which means that the character will slowly lose hit points over time. So you hit them with the bio spell, it puts them in sap, and then they'll just lose, you know how when we get sapped, you lose 2 hit points a second? Well, that's just going to happen there. And then, you know, after a few seconds, boom, those things are taken care of. You avoid their really high defense and their ability to absorb all spells. Now, and here's another new enemy here, the Belphegor. It brings back memories of Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. Those guys are really tough in that game. You know, gargoyles in that game too. Now, one thing you might be asking yourself, minions, is, hey, there was a treasure chest down there that you missed. That treasure chest, it has a treasure in it. It has the Ragnarok sword, which is like the best knight sword in the game. Even better than that Excalibur, that sealed weapon. However, it's guarded by that second optional super boss, Shinryu, that we read about in the library where we fought a panda. So we don't want to fight him because he's a super boss. So we want to save our game first, so in case anything goes wrong, we'll be able to, you know, just restart there. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave that treasure chest until we find another save point to save our game with. That way, you know, if we, you know, something bad happens during that fight, we ain't losing a whole lot of progress. So we're just going to skip that treasure, but we'll get it later. So don't worry, minions, we're going to get it, and you're going to get to see me take on Shinryu, the king of the dragons. He's even stronger than Bahamut. But we took out that little Belphegor, and which is good. And now we only have 3 more regular type monsters to encounter in here. So, wow, we're really cleaning out the monster list. We step here. And we're getting even further deeper because now the roots are even more pronounced. There's even more of them sticking around here. So we're going to head around here. And there's a little glowing light over here to the left. And we're going to explore that and see what it is next time, minions. So take care, have a good one. Hope to see you then. Bye!